Hi there, I'm Jeanette, stampingupwithsafiandme.com, and today's project is this one. How adorable is this? It's beautiful, perfect for the tree, and this is exactly what I was designing it for. But before I go any further, I've got some really exciting news. The fact that I now have a host code club. So that means if you shop with me and your order is under £150 and you use that host code, I am able to send you a little gift at the end of the month, just as a little bit of a thank you from me. And also what I'd like to do, if you were the first person to actually shop with me, I have a little giveaway as well. Now all that information, I'm not going to say any more on film, all that information will be over on my website, www.stampingwithsafiandme.com, and if you go on there you can learn all about my free little giveaway. But let me get straight on and show you how to make this absolutely beautiful little project. This is a gold one. This one's sealed and ready to go on the tree. I've got some chocolates inside and I've just wrapped them in a little bit of tissue. This one I haven't sealed, so you can actually have a little look inside. This is the champagne foil, and it looks very much like a rose gold colour. Now I haven't sealed this one, so you can actually have a look and see what I've got inside. I've got a little bit of tissue, and it's not all about presents and chocolates. Well, it is a present, but what it is, it's a little dinner for two, rolled up in a little scroll and just popped in the box, which I think makes an absolute beautiful little gift. Because it's going to be hand given and not popped in the post, we don't need to make an envelope for it, even though the envelopes are beautiful. I think this looks absolutely stunning. I haven't stuck it down. I've got all my sticky strip on, and I've actually made this for a friend of mine. She's absolutely lovely. She's a great support to me. And when we were discussing about her little gift and what she wanted to give, I said, how about one of these? So this is for her. So let's just get started. It is really simple to do. We're actually going to be using the framelets, the window box thinlet dies, which is in the annual catalogue, so it's widely available, and will actually go into next year as well. But it's not just a box for birthdays, and I thought it's perfect, absolutely perfect for the tree. So you are going to need that, and you are also going to need the insert that goes with it, which is here. I've been die cutting and I haven't actually got all my bits and pieces out, but I will show you how to get rid of that as well. So what you will need you just need a sheet of A4, and basically you'll need two bits that measure 6 and 5 3/4. So you need two of those, and you will find that you will be able to pop them on like that, face down. Like that's my six inch side, and that fits perfectly on there, so you can actually run it through your big shot. Now you will need to do two of these, one just plain like that, and then the other one on the other sheet, when you're popping it on, you want to pop that inside, obviously without the bits and pieces in. So you want to pop that in the middle like that, and then run that through your big shot, so you have two pieces. You will have that remainder. You can do all sorts of that. We're actually going to do a little bow for the top as well, but there's plenty spare. Let me just put that to one side, because I have actually cut one out just to save a little bit of time, and to make sure the video isn't horrendously long. So I've got my two bits cut out like that. I've just peeled that away so I could show you what this looks like. And what you need is one of these. They are great. It's just a little die brush, and if you pop it on here, it picks up all the little bits without making too much of a mess. Great for your little intricate dies. And then just turn it over just to make sure all the little pieces are out like that. As I say, I'm so excited about my my host code. You know, just to say a little thank you, and to be able to put a little gift from me, just to say thank you for your order. I really am looking forward to that. let's just get, and it's really quite exciting. I know Stamping Up in the New Year have got a few things going on, which I can't wait to tell you about. So that's all the bits and pieces are out of that, and all you need to do with this, there we go, so you're not spending ages having to get all the little bits out. Let's put that to one side, get rid of all these bits. Okay. So you're left with those. So what you need to do at this stage is burnish all of these little tabs. So everything's stuck to me this morning. So what you want to do is just gently ease and fold. And once you've got that fold, you can then burnish with your bone folder. I'll just do a couple. I've actually got one prepared because it can be quite time consuming, this, if you want to do it beautifully. So once you've got all these tabs burnished, then you can start putting your tape on. But before you do, you don't need all of the tabs. There are a couple that you can cut off, and the two that you can cut off are these two. In fact, let me do that. You're not going to use that or that one. You don't need them. So I don't know whether you can see that on camera, but there's a bit of a guideline there. So you can just snip that off and snip this one off as well. And then it ends up looking like that. So go ahead, burnish all of your tabs and pop a little bit of tape on. I've used the tear tape for mine, and I've done one earlier just to save some time. I don't want this video to be horrendously long, and you really don't want to see me burnishing and sticking tape on everything when you can see what I've done here, and then we can start putting it together. Now, this is optional. If you do want it to go on the tree, or like I do, I'm going to have a few of these on my tree. What you want to do is pop a hole just for the thread to go through. So just a guide, you can, I cut myself a little square actually, like that, a similar size, scored it in the middle, punched a hole so I knew where the middle was, and then I just placed that on there, and then did myself a little dot in the middle, and then I punched it so I knew exactly where the middle was. And the punch that I actually used is the teeny tiny one, which is 1/16 of an inch. We only have 2 handheld punchers, and I use both constantly. You'll have seen me use them probably in every single video, but this is the tiny one because we don't want it to go through. I think the bigger one, because I'm using some, I'm using the 1/8 of an inch ribbon. If I used anything bigger, then it'll probably just pull through. So the next thing to do, as you can see, I've burnished all of my flaps, I've burnished all of my score lines, I've got my box ready to go, and the next thing I want to do is make this before I fold it all up together. So we need to cut a little bit of this off, which is the ribbon that I'm always using. It is, you'd think I'd know the name of it, the sheer ribbon, the 1/8 of an inch, and it's a white sheer ribbon. So you want to cut yourself a little bit off, depending on the length you want it on your tree. I think that'll be absolutely plenty. The first thing you want to do, fold this in half, and you want to tie a knot. Like that. Then what you want to do is get your, or just get anything, I use this constantly, it's another little tool that I really won't be without, my paper piercer, and you want to just try and feed it through the hole from this way, and then you're going to pull it up. The hole's not very big, but I really didn't want to make it too big. And then that pulls through, as you can see. And then what we can do now is just tidy it up in there. Just snip that bit off. So there you have your little hanging bit. So next we just want to start putting the box together. Right, okay. So this flap is going to go on there. That's the first thing to do. So I'm just going to take this little bit of sticky strip off. You will find you've got little bits hanging off, as I've said in previous videos. Just fold them back in on themselves, it's fine. I do tend to use my tear tape for this rather than Tombow glue, and the reason being is I tend to get it everywhere. What else would be good? Fast fuse would be good as well, actually. Be quite good for this, but you would have to be accurate, because as soon as you've stuck fast fuse down, there is no changing that. So that's that bit. So the next bit we want to do, we can start building up these sides. I think I would just take one off at a time and then seal it together. Really is pretty. I knew I wanted a lovely little box for my tree, and I was going to just make them, and I thought, you know what, Stampin', I have the beautiful box die that I can make. Let's do this side. Let's do each side first, I think. I don't think it really matters which bit you do, but if you work each side. Yeah, I was thinking, what can I use for each items, and I wanted something big enough that if I had a little gift, certainly jewellery would look beautiful in these boxes. Really would. Bracelets, rings, earrings, even a watch, as long as it wasn't too heavy. But it depends on what you choose to make your box up in. I would, if you use cardstock, I would imagine it would be able to take something a little bit heavier. Oops. Make sure that's tucked inside. Okay, that's that one. Let's get this bottom bit done. As you can see, it takes shape really quite quickly, and as you can see, that's a little bit too big. So all I'm going to do is fold it over. No point messing about cutting it off. You don't need to. Put that flap in there, and it really does make up a beautiful box. There are no gaps at all. It's fabulous, and I've not used this very much. I've used the stamp set that coordinates with it to make cards, but I've not actually, let's get that little bit up, it's just sort of made up the box for everything. So for me, this is absolutely perfect. Okay. I'll burnish all these when I put them all together. Now, if you didn't want, I've got one more there, look, missed that one. If you didn't want to have a sealed box, you wouldn't put your sticky strip on these bits. But because it's going to hang on the tree, it really does need to be. It might help actually if I took the sticky strip off everything before I started putting it together. Never mind. It's worked. It's still worked, hasn't it? So then we need to get our bone folder. And we just need to get that in there and press down on all of these. You can take more time in doing yours. I just really don't want the video to be too long. So yes, if it was just a box and you weren't hanging it on the tree and you just wanted somebody to be able to open it, this side, and the top bit, you wouldn't put any sticky strip on, and it would just go together beautifully, and you could just hand it over and then they can reuse the box. I have put sticky, in fact it's not sticky strip, I don't know why I'm calling it sticky strip, it's tear tape. I am going to put it on the tree, so it's there for me to put something inside. And there's your box basically. I'm not going to stick it down because I haven't got my gift in, but I have got some chocolates. They've been eaten, so I need to go and get some more, but there will be chocolates on mine. So that is just so quick and easy, and you can make loads of these. Now, just to finish it off, because I thought, oh, that looks a little bit plain, I punched out a bow. And I just think that finishes the design off beautifully. Still very elegant. And all I used was our bow builder punch, which Stamping Up do, which isn't retiring yet, so you can still get hold of this. And you just need to punch 2 of these. Rid of that. You only need 1 of those, so I'll get rid of that. But you need all the other bits and pieces. So you need glue dots for this one, and your bone folder. So the first thing that we're going to do is just round off, and that actually, with your bone folder, just to get that beautiful round edge to it. You need to do that on both of them. A little bit on that as well. And then this goes together equally quickly. Glued up. And then just squeeze it together like that. And same on the other one. Glue dot. Squeeze together. And then another glue dot. You use quite a few on this. On that. And then you just put them together. Squeeze them together. You can just see how that's taking shape now. Then you want to put a little centery bit on. Another glue dot. Like that. Squeeze that on there. And then another couple. These work brilliantly on these bows. Always have glue dots to hand. They are so useful for everything. Not just for bows. Squeeze that together. That's looking great. And then what I've also done, I've just used my paper piercer again, just to round off those corners. I don't want to squeeze them because I don't want a ridge on there. The next thing we want to do, a couple more glue dots, and I think we're just about done. Glue dot on your little tails. You can do this 2 ways. You can either have your bow looking straight on like that, or as I've done mine at an angle. And I've stuck mine down like that. Now what I also did, I just trimmed off that little ridge, that little pointy bit at the back, so I just snipped a tiny bit off, just so you can't see it. Another glue dot. And squeeze it on like that. And then finally 1 more glue dot just to stick it to our box. And they won't fall off. They're very sturdy and they're just not going to come off. I've tried taking one off actually, and there was absolutely nowhere I was getting that off. So place it in the middle, on there, front of your box, and there you have it. And that is your finished item for you to just fill. You could, if you wanted, if you didn't have an item to fill, wrap around with tissue, and you wanted to hide your little gift inside, then you could cut yourself. If you use this as your template, whatever you wanted to use, some glitter, whatever, or even a white piece of Whisper White maybe, and cut yourself a hexagon, pop it out, and then just glue it in like that, and glue it on over that, and then you get a cover for that. But you still get your beautiful detail. But it's entirely up to you. But because I wrapped mine in tissue, I think mine looks lovely like that. So I do hope you've enjoyed that project, and make a few. I've got a few more to make for my tree, which is actually going to be going up next weekend, so I want to be well prepared. If you do like my video, please like and subscribe, and then you won't miss anything. And of course, if you're that first person to shop with me, I will send you a freebie giveaway, and all those details will be on my blog, on my website, www.stampingwithsafiandme.com, and I will be back with you next week for another project. Thanks ever so much. Bye bye.